Well, the onions are starting to burst open now. That means that it's time to cut the stems off and take them indoors and let them finish drying out inside. We've got some people we're going to be sending onion seed to. And this particular variety of onion is called Rosa de Roscoff. It's from France. It's a French heirloom seed that came over to the United States. Oh gosh, maybe 10 or 12 years ago. A friend of ours brought it over. And we've been saving seed ever since, from an original to onions. And we started to get low, so we grew this big crop. And we want to share the bounty with our friends. So I've got some people on our list who sent a self-addressed stamped envelope. We'll be sending these onion seeds right out. We've had our bag of onion seeds up on the shelf for, maybe 3 or 4 weeks now. And I think they've had plenty of time to start drying out. So we're going to take the bag down and see what we have. I like working with a white background. You could use paper towels. You can use a white cloth. But I like using white backgrounds. I'll just take out a few of these. These seed flowers are drying off very nicely. What you want is for them to start to turn brown, and for the most part you can just kind of pull these little seed flowers right off of the little stems. If they don't come off easily, I wouldn't force them off. You can put the stem back in the bag and let them continue to dry. In many instances, you can actually see the seed through the opening of the seed flower. So we'll just pull those off of there, the ones that come off easily. They come off very easily. You can see the seeds through there. You can possibly see some of the seeds. And it's going to be our job to collect all those seeds. You can even pick up 3 or 4 stems or whatever you can comfortably handle, and just kind of twist them and see if they pull off. Don't worry, you can put the rest back in the bag, and you can try again in another week. But you can see that a lot of them have fallen off. Here's another batch. I think that's pretty good for now. I want to show you one other thing before we proceed. So I wanted to show you that in the bag itself, where I've been storing these onion flowers, a lot of the onions and the onion florets have already fallen off, which saves a lot of work. So we're really in good shape. We probably have enough seed that have fallen off already right now. Like many other things in life, there are several ways to do certain jobs. And what we want to do right now is try to separate the larger pieces of plant matter from the smaller pieces, and just using a screen of some kind can help do that. So I'm just going to shake it like this and try to get rid of some of the larger pieces of plant matter. What I have left here is some pieces of the onion plant that are still, you can even feel that they're a little bit green. So I'll put this back in the bag. Now I'm going to switch to a finer screen. I don't think that the seed will pass through this screen, but some of the small pieces of chaff or chaff should pass through. See that small shaft passing through? That's just what we want. Another step in this journey is what they call threshing. You often hear that in association with wheat, but you basically want to try to crush the outer part of the seed pod away from the seed between your hands like that. That's one way to do that. And you can see all the black seeds that we're gathering. So you can do that for as long as you have patience. We're starting to do good. We'll do this several times, and the seeds, a lot of the seeds will come out of their casings. So I've brought over the white plate again, and I'm going to try to get rid of more of the chaff. If you think that this looks like a tedious job, it is. We've done a lot of sorting out now, and I think we're ready to go to the next step. And it's a step in seed cleaning that I call the water float test. Or not test, the water float step. And I'll show you what I mean. We've filled this lasagna dish about halfway with water. And now we're literally going to put all of our seed material that we're trying to clean in the water. Now the good seed should sink to the bottom. Some of the seed kind of clings to the seed pods or the chaff, but the good seed will sink to the bottom. So if I pull this aside, you'll see all that seed down there. Now I'm going to remove that chaff and put it in this screen again. And all of these techniques, you have to decide which you're the most comfortable with. In fact, you may not even have to do any of these techniques if you're just saving seed for yourself. You don't have to have it super clean like you see it in a seed packet. Seed companies have equipment that cleans the seed for them, and we don't have access to those types of machines. So we have to make do with what we can figure out at home. Now, if you look closely, you can see the bottom of our pan, all of those black seeds. That's our seed harvest. That'll be more than enough for us. I'm going to go get a spatula. There's still some seed here. When you're cleaning tomato seeds, the old adage is that if the seed doesn't sink to the bottom, then it's probably no good. So I can see the seeds that we're going to be saving on the floor of this lasagna pan. It's going to be more than enough for my purposes, and I'm going to be sending a bunch of seed packets out to my friends who have sent me a self-addressed stamped envelope. So you all will be getting some of these seeds. Don't worry, they won't be wet because our next step is to dry the seeds out. Now, if we really wanted to be anal about all of this, then we could take what's left here in this screen that I just scooped out. We could take these and dry them and maybe even get more seed. But if the seed floats, it might not be any good. So I'm going to discard this. And look at all the seeds that we've saved. So there we are. In the bottom is our seed harvest. So we're going to get rid of the water, and we're going to put those seeds on a paper towel, and probably in a couple of days they'll be dry enough to store. Okay, so now we're just taking our good collection of seed here. Oh my goodness, I'll bet there are thousands in here. And we have them on our paper towel, and we're going to dry them out now. Spread them out a little bit. There's just a couple of little pieces of matter, organic matter, that we can easily remove once they're dry. Just spread these out. It just take a couple of days, and these things will be dry. I'll probably be, today's what, Friday? Danielle, what's today's date?
Today is the
Okay, doesn't matter. The 12th? I think it's the 12th.
It is
Okay.
Friday the 12th.
So today's the 12th. On Friday, we'll probably be mailing these out next Wednesday, which would be 13, 14, 15, probably on the 17th. Okay, there we go. Our onion seeds are under the light. You don't have to have a light on them, but I tend to have one on. And there they will dry out. So there's our onion seed beginning their drying out process. It only take a couple of days. And they are right next to some beet seeds that we've already done. And then we'll be doing carrots as well. So the next step will be to collect them up after they've dried.